Morning, my brothers and sisters. Pastor C.R. McDuffy, St. John Institutional Baptist Church. We want to bring to you some encouraging information. I know we're faced with a terrible disaster that has never before been seen in the lifetime of many of us. This disaster has affected every area of our lives, social, physical, as well as spiritual. And it has left many of us to feel defeated, discouraged, and disillusioned. So my advice to all of us is to keep the faith, keep praying, and keep trusting, for God in due time will turn it around. Well, how do I know that God will handle this crisis? Can I give you a simple answer? The simple answer is because of faith. Because of faith. Hebrews 11:6 says, "But without faith it is impossible to please him. For he that cometh to him must believe that he is, and that he is a rewarder of them that diligently seek him." Now, Hebrews 11, as many of you know, has been described as faith's Hall of Fame. It is so called because each spiritual giant listed here gives testimony of how God blessed them in response to their faith. The writer of Hebrews says that by faith they accomplished these great things, not because of financial resources, not because of academic achievements, not because of scientific technology, not because of military might or even hard work. They achieved significantly and rendered outstanding service, primarily because of their faith in God and in his promises. And so I want to talk a little bit about because of faith. Because of faith, God did great things to these people. What people? These people that are mentioned here in Hebrews chapter 11. And that same God will do great things to those of us who are leaning and depending on him. God can and God will do great things with us and to us. But the challenge is we have to allow God to change us. And when he changes us, he will do great things to us, through us, and for us. Well, how many know that because of faith, God did not only great things with these people, but God did great things for these people. One thing that you discover in Hebrews chapter 11 is that they came to know God through faith. How many know that it's impossible for us to know him without faith? They experienced him through a personal relationship with him. But not only did they experience him, but they experienced forgiveness, and they gained a position of acceptance with God because of their faith. So that says to us, my brothers and my sisters, that God will accept us because of our faith. We receive an inward security that gives us poise and peace in the midst of turmoil. When we have faith and when we utilize our faith, then we receive an inward security. There's no need for us to be discouraged. I know we're troubled. I know we're worried. I know things are not as we are accustomed to them being, but keep trusting, keep believing God. Then, because of faith, God did great things through these people and with these people. Hebrews 11 lists great men and women who, because they outbelieved their contemporaries, they were lifted to a position of privilege, prominence, and power. So then our challenge during this crisis is for us, in spite of what they are saying around us, in spite of what the media says, in spite of what Washington says, we have to believe what God says. If we believe in His Word, then He will lift us to a position of privilege, prominence, and power. But even then, notice that these people were not exempt from struggle, from suffering, and even from sacrifice. So then, even though we're going through this, we have to springboard off of what our old sages would say. I'm glad that trouble don't last always. How many know that even in the midst of our struggle, even in the midst of what's going on here and now, even in the midst of all of these things that are happening with coronavirus, COVID-19, how many know that God is still real? God is real, and even though He's real, He should be real to all of us. We need to make sure even now that He's even more real than what He has been in the past. So then, I have a question, and we'll probably pick this up in our next segment. And that question is, how can we have a great and growing faith in God? Until next time, my brothers and my sisters, keep trusting, keep believing. You can do it because of faith.